One strike. That's all they needed. The samurai didn't just carry weapons. They mastered the deadliest engineering of the ancient world. Forget what you think you know about the katana. We're counting down the 20 most brutal tools that built a warrior empire. Section 1. The foundations of lethality. The yumi. This was the original soul of the samurai. Before they were swordsmen, they were mounted archers. The yumi is over 7 feet tall and uniquely asymmetrical. The grip is lower down, not in the middle. Why? So they could switch sides on a horse without hitting the saddle. It could punch through armor from 50 yards away. If you couldn't master this, you weren't a samurai. The choke-to. This is what failure looks like. Before the famous curved blades, Japanese warriors used the choke-to. It was straight, heavy, and copied from Chinese designs. It was great for stabbing, but terrible for slashing. In the heat of battle, these swords would often snap in half. That fatal flaw is exactly what forced blacksmiths to invent the curved steel legends we know today. The taichi, the grandfather of the katana. Designed purely for cavalry warfare, it's longer and more curved than a katana, built to reach down from a horse and slice through infantry. But here's the twist. It was worn with the cutting edge facing down. This allowed riders to draw and strike in one fluid motion while galloping. It changed cavalry charges forever. Section 2. The icons of the battlefield. The katana. The most famous sword in human history. But Hollywood gets it wrong. It wasn't just sharp, it was an engineering miracle. Blacksmiths combined soft steel in the core for flexibility with hard steel on the edge for cutting. This meant it wouldn't snap on impact. Worn edge up, it allowed a samurai to draw and kill in a single split-second motion. It wasn't just a weapon, it was the samurai's soul. The yari. The sword got the glory, but this won the wars. While the katana was a sidearm, the yari was the main event. These spears could be up to 20 feet long. Samurai didn't throw them, they used them to create impenetrable walls of steel. A skilled user could stab faster than a swordsman could swing. If you got past the tip, you were already dead. The naginata. Part sword, part spear, all nightmare. Imagine a curved sword blade mounted on a long pole. The naginata used centrifugal force to generate devastating power. It could slice a horse's legs off from a safe distance. It became the signature weapon of the warrior monks and later samurai women. It leveled the playing field. You didn't need muscle, you needed leverage. The wakizashi. The one weapon a samurai never took off. When entering a castle, a samurai had to leave his katana at the door, but the wakizashi stayed. It was the honor blade. Shorter and easier to use in tight hallways, where a long sword would hit the walls. But it had a darker purpose. This was the blade used for seppuku, ritual suicide. It was the last thing a defeated warrior would ever hold. Section 3. The specialists. Elite and specialized items. The nodachi. The sword that was too big to handle. Imagine a katana but supersized. The nodachi was often 5 feet long. You couldn't even wear it at your waist. It had to be carried on your back or by a servant. It was an anti-cavalry weapon designed to cut down horses mid-charge. It was slow and heavy, but one hit would cleave a van in half, armor and all. The kusarigama, the ultimate unfair advantage. A razor-sharp sickle on one hand, a heavy iron weight on a chain on the other. While the enemy was distracted dodging the weight, the sickle gutted them. It was designed to entrap. A master could tangle a spear or sword with the chain, yank it out of the enemy's hands, and finish the job close up. If you saw this coming, you ran. The tessen, the weapon that looked like a toy. Samurai commanders carried fans to signal troops, but the tessen was made of solid iron ribs. In places where swords were banned, this was a hidden lifesaver. You could block a knife attack, break a bone, or crush a throat with it. It proved that a samurai was never truly unarmed. The Ono, brute force over beauty. Samurai are known for elegance, but the Ono was pure destruction. It was a massive battle axe, sometimes 6 feet long. When swords chipped against heavy plate armor, the Ono didn't care. It smashed helmets like eggshells. It wasn't about cutting, it was about delivering enough blunt force trauma to stop a heart.
Section 4. The Terror Tools, Psychological and Fear-Based. The Kanabo. This wasn't warfare, it was slaughter. The Kanabo is a heavy iron club covered in metal spikes. It didn't require finesse. It was built to smash through armor, break horses' legs, and pulverize bones. In Japanese mythology, this is the weapon of demons. If a warrior walked onto the battlefield holding this, he wasn't looking for a duel, he was looking for a massacre. The shuriken. You won't see it, but you'll feel it. Movies show these killing people instantly. The reality was smarter. Shuriken weren't usually lethal, they were distractions. A samurai would throw one at your face to make you flinch or blink. In that split second of hesitation, they'd close the gap and cut you down. It was a psychological trick. You can't fight what you can't predict. Metsubushi, the dirtiest trick in the book. Honor didn't always apply when you were losing. Metsubushi translates to eye closers. Warriors filled hollow eggs or bamboo tubes with ground glass, pepper, and ash. In a desperate moment, they threw it into the enemy's eyes. It was brutal and permanent. A blind samurai is a dead samurai. The menpo, the face of death. This technically isn't a weapon you hold, but a weapon you wear. The menpo was a facial armor mask designed to look like a screaming demon or an old ghost. It protected the face, sure, but its real job was to freeze the enemy in terror. Imagine charging at a line of soldiers who all look like monsters from hell.
Section 5. Engineering Masterpieces. The Tanegashima, the weapon that ended the samurai era. In 1543, the Portuguese landed with 2 matchlock guns. The Japanese didn't just buy them, they reverse-engineered them. Within a few decades, Japan had more guns than any country in Europe. It didn't care about your skill or your expensive armor. A peasant with a week of training could shoot a master swordsman in the chest. Honor was dead. The Odzutsu. Think of this as a medieval bazooka. While the Tanegashima was a rifle, the Odzutsu was a handheld cannon. It fired massive iron slugs or buckshot. It was so heavy, it had to be rested on a specialized stand or a rice bale. The recoil could dislocate your shoulder, but one shot could shatter a castle gate or blow a hole through a formation of troops. The Horo, the smartest armor ever built. It looks like a fashion statement, but it was pure aerodynamics. The oro was a cloak stiffened by a wicker frame. When a samurai rode a horse, air pressure inflated it like a balloon. If enemies shot arrows from behind, the loose spinning silk would tangle and trap the arrow before it could hit the warrior's spine. It was an airbag for arrows. Section 6. The Legacy, Modern Influence. The Tanto, a historic Japanese dagger fading into a modern American tactical SWAT knife with a tanto tip. Look at a modern tactical knife. You're looking at this. The tanto was the samurai's last line of defense, a dagger designed to punch through thick armor when the sword failed. Its geometry was so perfect we never improved it. Today, special forces and SWAT teams around the world carry tanto-tipped knives. Why? Because 800 years later, it's still the best shape for piercing hard targets. The jite, the grandfather of the police baton. When peace finally came to Japan, you couldn't just chop criminals in half anymore. Enter the jite. It had no blade, just a heavy iron shaft and a hook. It was designed to catch a katana mid-swing and snap the blade. It symbolized authority without bloodshed. It evolved directly into the batons used by police forces globally today. From the precision of the katana to the brutality of the Kanabo, which one would you choose to survive a duel? Let us know in the comments, and for more history that hits hard, subscribe.